Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to unload the big black Chevy and all the parts out of the truck. We're also going to give some updates on the shop. As you can see, it's a complete mess in here with things everywhere. So let's get started on unloading the motor and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. Alright, so went ahead and used the cherry picker, got the transmission put back on. I didn't put the torque converter or flex plate on yet. I know the motor's going to have to come back out, but went ahead and got that set in there, left the sling on it. Somebody's making some noise over there. He's getting his tools out trying to help Dad. So now we want to go ahead and lift this up so that way we can figure out what we need for spacers under the transmission mount in the back, so we can try to level this engine out a little bit. I do have a spacer under it now. I think it's pretty good. I just need to make sure if that is the right height or not. We'll double check that here, and then we can have somebody machine that for me so it'll be a true spacer. And let's go ahead and slip the tail shaft in the transmission so we can measure for a drive shaft. Alright, so we have the truck lifted up. We can see here in the rear that we have the 40 drag, which is quick performance. It's a drag spool. It has a 389 gear. Again, this is Yukon third member with the aluminum pinion support with the billet 1350 yoke. So we need to get a measurement from here to the front. While we're back here though, we can also take a look at the gas tank install. I only have a couple bolts in. We'll go ahead and pull this back out from on top of the frame, set it underneath with the transmission jack. That way down these sides here I can actually just line the bolt pattern up and drill through or mark it or whatever. Then we can put it back on top of the frame. So that'll take care of that. I have all the fittings and stuff. We'll get into that in another video. But up here up front you can see on the back of the transmission we have the Sunax. It's a 1350 yoke as well. It's chromoly. We have that pulled out about an inch out of the transmission. I went ahead and sat it all the way in, used a dial caliper to set it out just about an inch out of the back of the transmission. Went ahead and pulled a measurement from the center yoke to, or center U-joint to center U-joint, and we have 55.5. So I'm going to go ahead and call around and see about getting a drive shaft made for this. Also, I don't know if you can see up here on the top, there's some spacers on top of this mount here. I'll take those measurements and dimensions over to my brother's shop here so we can get this made into an actual piece that we can put underneath of there. That's everything underneath of here. We'll go ahead and let it down. We're going to do some stuff up top. We can get the computer mounted, the ignition coil, and some other stuff ran. I'd actually like to get the front clip put onto this so that way maybe we can start mocking up some other things. Radiator, get some hoses, and get all that stuff going, because a lot of these things, the fuel pressure regulator is going to be mounted on like the firewall. I do have a remote thermostat housing, so a lot of that stuff I need to figure out where it's going to go, and some mounts might go off of fender well supports or something like that. So that's what we need to do next. We'll go ahead and let it down and continue from there. All right, it's been a few days now since we actually said we were lowering the truck down in that last clip and going to put the front clip on actually. We had some things come up, and actually the contractor called and said he wanted to put the beam in. So we'll go over here and give you a shot of the beams installed. So there we can see exactly what we were looking for. Got the one post in the middle, 20 something foot on the left hand side, and I think maybe 16 on this right hand side. So again, a post along the wall. Got the laminated beams, those are 16 inches tall to support the building and the loft there. So now you can get the envision that we were going for. There's the twin turbo Ford truck there. When this Ranger is done, still waiting on parts from Polaris on, not surprising. That's where the 67 is going to go. That's getting the LS with the Tremec T56. And then here will be a spot for something else, probably the daughter's car. And then finish doing some rearranging. I'd like to turn the Mustang around, move this stuff here in the center, back the Mustang in, and that'll leave me room to put the old white gym in here and finish cleaning up this insulation and things on the floor there. So that's a better idea of everything there. This weekend we actually did get a trip to a guy's place, picked up some original 1971. This is a 1 year only grill inserts. They're in mint condition. Also got some tail lights and bezels from him as well. And did pick up a hood or a tailgate here. So this is a 71, I believe it's off of. They're all 67, 72, I believe they're all the same. So a little bit of rust on that, but overall, for as old as it is in great shape. Now, I did want to update on the truck here. We actually, when we were on the dyno, we were able to do a little bit more tuning. I didn't record anything because I thought I'd shot enough video for you guys in the last video of the dyno. I was able to tweak the timing and actually get 1159 horse out of it. And I believe we were at 1169 with the pure methanol. So actually we were able to get quite a bit more, 100 horsepower more out of just doing some more tuning and putting timing into that motor. I really loved it. So now on methanol, I do believe we could probably make upwards of closer to the 1300 horse if I had enough injector, which is what these motors are making on the 1-to-1 pulley combination. I do believe we still have an issue where we're peaking out in boost at basically when we're starting the pull at 3,500 to 4,000 RPMs. And it's actually dropping off a whole PSI. So I think we need to look at gluing the gaskets down and possibly maybe torquing those aluminum studs down even more yet. So we'll continue with that as we put the truck together and go from there, check that spacer for flatness and some other things. But enough of the rambling on. So I hate to cut this video short, but we will start the next video with hopefully a much cleaner shop, a little more organized, and then we'll go ahead and start putting that front clip on the 67 blower truck, and we'll go from there. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Again, we really appreciate it. We really want to get some more subscribers, so if anybody could help us out, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.